Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to my video presentation for English for Professional Interaction. Prepare for my instructor. Today, me and my trio, our team will present to you a topic which is quite significant for the welfare of employees, which is about leaving on time. As all of we know, this sure can be said as very popular among our staff members because actually it is up to us whether we would like to see the bad or good sides of leaving on time from the office for our career. This graph shows the percentage of employees working for long hours. Everyone deserves to work with reasonable working hours because, as we know, everybody has their responsibilities. They are not only living just for finish their whole life in the office. Some people might say that living on time is a disadvantage, but some other people say that living on time is a good thing if you are having a sense of humor about employees. So, presenting my first point here, leaving on time or not, is just all about showing your manager that you are totally focused and managing your top priorities during your assigned working hours. As a worker, we need to remind ourselves to work in balance, just to fulfill other responsibilities as well. Don't forget to keep the boundaries fit on work versus the rest of your life. It will be weird or rare for people if they wish that they had spent more time at the office. If you want to leave the office on time, then you should start to work smart and planning your time efficiently and maybe setting new goals each morning. Just keep on being focused and just do your work. There's no need to gossiping with the other staffs and interfere other works. Then you'll be alright. Have you ever thought of instead of investing your 25% for almost 10 hours, why not start to attempt for 100% for 5 hours? Here you will get the input, whereas here so much to be done but got plenty of time could be great. Let's check out on this video. This guy is only doing his work alone, without any external or internal distraction, and all of his work is already done. But it's too early, so he needs to wait until the workday is over. So what we can learn from this is, if you are keep being focused on doing your work, you will be managed to finish your work early. Like him.
I am Qonita Hafzha, and here we will talk about which person involved in this office problem. Obviously, the answer is office workers. For example, it can be staff, employee, and intern students. Basically, they will have hard time to leave on time. This is because they have a pile of work to do, and even worse, they got an annoying boss. It is normal, and I believe this type of boss really exists. Mostly exists everywhere. Let's say you as an employee or staff surely want to maintain your performance. It is difficult to work when you are in trouble with your boss or you are under their observation. It will affect your work results and progress because you cannot fully concentrate on your work. Then what you have to do is get along with your boss. There must be some reason why they have you to stay back in the office. Sometimes, for no reason, there are bosses who don't like to see their employee or staff leave on time. Maybe it is their natural behavior that we have to accept. But it is hurt us because we have to stay late even we are done and free. So, you have to find the perfect time to get out from the office without being caught. The example for this situation is your work time ends at 5 p.m. and you are already finished all the works and tasks given. But the problem is your annoying boss would patrol around your department at that time and walk around for a while. Here are the tips. When that time where your boss are going to another place, then it's your chance to go home. Look at the situation first, pack your stuff, and you may go.
This is an example for this point. Here are the characters, a regular staff and his annoying boss. Let's call him Abu. The time shows that the working hours has ended, but he knows his boss behavior, so it's a big no to leave on time. Here he should be thoughtful because his request may fall. Then he decides to tolerate with his boss. He said he wants to leave on time and go to gym, but the boss still don't want to let him go. Here's the part, he have to be clear and creative. He then cleared that good body will help him to finish workloads. Then the boss think that it is acceptable and valuable.
Hello, my name is Nik Muhammad Shahrul and I will present to you why we should leave on time. Whatever excuse you make, you are harming yourself quite a lot than how much you help the organization to grow. Work is a never-ending process. If you stay, you may get extra work. However, you must quantify the amount of work that has to be completed on a given time frame. However, make sure that you complete what is agreed on time. If you do it, then you can consider that you have satisfied the expectation. Life does not mean coming to office, going home, and sleeping. There is more to a life. You need time to socialize, entertainment, exercise, and relaxation. Don't make your life meaningless. You also need some rest to strengthen up your energy for the next day. Why we shouldn't leave on time? Next, why shouldn't we leave on time? We shouldn't leave on time as we cannot let down client interest. You must know that a company must exist for you to work, and a company needs clients. So, completing the promises task on time to keep the client's expectation is quite important. So, do not let the client's expectation to go down. Next, we need to follow the contract. Most of the employees in an organization have to follow a plan, stick to a schedule. As an employee in an organization, if you are not leaving the office on the time as planned, you must be spoiling the working culture of your organization, and more badly, you may be fired. Lastly, we are afraid of missing important information. If you left the office on time, you may miss important information from the boss, and on the next day, you may don't have time to prepare for it.
New research shows a very strong correlation between working very, very long hours and heart disease or stroke. According to the research done by researchers at the University College London, they found that workers who put in 55 hours per week or more had a 33% greater risk of stroke and a 13% greater risk of heart disease than people who worked 35 to 40 hours per week. Now, part of the reason could be because you're sitting at work, and if you're sitting for a long period of time, that does lead to certain heart issues later in life. What they also found was that in the study, they didn't find a difference in stroke risk between men and women, between older workers and younger workers, or between workers of different socioeconomic statuses. So it doesn't matter what your sex is, it doesn't matter, how young you are. If you're working really long hours and you're seated in one place for a long time, it could have some serious health consequences.
For my second point, when is actually the most right and suitable time to leave the office without any work clothes waiting behind you? So, leaving the office on time, which means that you will leave the office when you know and you are 100% sure that you are already finished the most important task given by your manager, then you surely can leave the office without feeling any guilty. But surely, we need to consider this issue within two kinds of perspectives. I mean, the right time to leave the office for the employee with a signed contract and for the permanent employee. So, for interns or regular staff, if it is stated in the contract whether you cannot leave on time or you can leave the office anytime without any hesitation, then feel free to leave the office once you got your boss permission to do so. The right time for you to leave the office depends on your employer's instruction and the assigned working hours. If you are dealing with the annoying employer and there's a time where you need to leave the office on time because of urgent matters that you cannot deny, then you need to compose an email or see your employer first to get their approval if it is stated in the contract that you will be able to leave the office once you get the employer's permission. For the permanent employee, usually they've been given a letter of eligibility to leave the office on time no matter what o'clock it is. There's no one gonna scold after you, but there's some kind of situation that most of us are dealing with, which is when you are already setting yourself to get back home. Then there will be a push-up notification that needs you to attend the last-minute meeting with the employer. Here's another video. I hope that you all can learn something from this too. Here's the boss. And this guy is already get ready to save all of the file once his work is done. But he was too panicked here. And yes, but suddenly his boss is already there. But in this case, there's something that he can learn from his boss because he got a lot of consideration about the time management. So he let his staff go back home first and come again for tomorrow.
There are possible ways to live on time, and I'm sure you can do it. First, you have to begin your day with the end in mind. I'm convinced that many people don't leave work on time simply because they don't set the expectation that they will. So when you arrive in the morning, identify the time you want to leave that evening. Set an alarm on your mobile phone or simply make a psychological commitment to that departure time. You have to believe yourself that you can finish the works within the working hours given. Be realistic that you can accomplish the task. Second, when you have set your departure time, give yourself some practical help achieving it. Block out the 20 minutes to the time you want to leave to clean up any last daily details such as filing papers, organizing your workspace, and making sure all the essential email is cleared out. Do some review on your finished tasks and plan tomorrow's work list. This is priority time slot. That's non-negotiable if anyone wants to do urgent meeting with you. Third, do the most important work to make sure you are on track. You can break down the task into smaller parts until it becomes manageable. Then, create a list of most critical priorities you are responsible for. And also, list down all the activities you do during the day. Getting your most important priorities done will not only make it easier to live on time, but will also help you feel more satisfied.
The topic is how to leave work on time. It can be tough to give yourself the freedom to leave work. You might feel guilty that you are leaving before others. You might worry that you are not committed enough if you leave work on time. Here are the things you can do to leave on time. First, begin your day with the end in mind. Block out the 20 minutes to the time you want to leave. Do the most important work. Plan tomorrow's work list. Then, review the finished tasks. Stop wasting time during the day. Feeling guilty? To overcome this nagging feeling, then you have to reframe your thinking. Rather than I'm leaving work now, try thinking of it as moving towards, such as I'm going home to spend time with family now, or I'm going to cook because it helps me relax. Try it out. Stop wasting time during the day. First, take a few minutes to evaluate your work practices during the day. What have you done during the day? Do you check your email every 5 minutes or leave your instant messaging on all day? It seems that you always stay in touch with your colleagues, but this constant distraction can seriously undermine your productivity and focus. This habit against you to keep you at work longer. Instead, challenge yourself to check email only at a few times during the day. Turn off your notification to avoid distraction. Keep in touch with your colleagues on certain time only, such as lunch time. By doing all of this, you can focus on your work, and all the important tasks will be done on time. Surely, you can live on time on that day.
So, in your opinion, should we leave or should we stay? Whether it is improving your commitment, trying to get more done, feeling guilty about leaving early, I hope this video can help you start getting out of the office at reasonable time, improving your health and productivity at the same time. If you choose to leave, make sure important work done first, so there is no such an excuse for you to stay to work late hours. First, make a list of tasks to prioritize the work. Put a deadline note to see which task is more important than the others. Also, do not forget to focus on high-stage tasks and urgent items. Next, tell people when you have to leave. If you start telling people you need to leave at a certain time, you will be much more likely to do so. Make the commitment to yourself and then share it with the others. As you discuss plans and assignments throughout the day, tell your colleagues, I have got to be out of here on time tonight. So, if you need something, let me know by 3 p.m. Quite good, right? Yes. At last but not least, say no. No. Decline requests for help or any task that doesn't require your expertise if your plate is already full. Don't immediately agree when someone asks you to do something. Think about all your pending, requiring, and future tasks first to avoid regrets later. This is video on how to say no to your boss politely.
Step 1. Frame your responses so that the first word your boss hears is yes, not no. For example, Yes, I'd love to be a part of that project. Unfortunately, another client is taking up all my time. Frame your refusal as "it's not possible" as opposed to "I can't," so it sounds like the reasons are beyond your control. Step 2. Let your body language help convey the message of yes even when you're saying no. Keep your arms loose and open and angle your body and feet toward your boss so you come across as pleasant and sincere, not annoyed and defensive. Step 3. Come up with a good reason why it's in the boss's best interest to let you decline, like there's a specific project or duty that will suffer if you take this on. "It's not part of my job" is not a good reason to refuse a work assignment unless you're being asked to do something completely inappropriate.
At the end, it's pretty simple. Life is short, time is precious. Doing great work and giving your job 100% doesn't have to mean spending hours of the overtime at the office. The solution? Prioritize your responsibilities. Minimize distraction, set the right expectation, and then leave work on time. That's all from us. Thank you.